Alright, yeah, so go ahead and test out the grenade. Alright, go ahead, throw it. Are you gonna throw it? Damn it! Ah! Alright.
Here, I'll kill myself.
Alright, we're testing Worm. W-O-R-M. World of Revolting Monsters. There's a lot of functionality already in the game. We're going to be demonstrating it bit by bit. We are not necessarily video producers routinely, so just put up with our sort of spastic presentation of everything. But we will get through everything as we try different things here. Alright, so this is a survival game. We put a lot of detail into it. Just a quick example, for instance. If you think of the game Scum, it has all of your bodily needs that are balanced out in a graph. We've simplified it a little bit more childish. We have your basic food groups. You have blood, stamina, we have trauma, and something unique to our game having to do with the plague, corruption. Corruption comes when you're hit by anything that has been infected. Besides this, you have something you might not have seen in other survival games, well-being, which has to do with bonuses that you get based on how well your character is surviving and is generally happy with his quality of life. The well-being is maximized as you get different bonuses and as you balance out all your food groups. So in playing this game, you might actually be more healthy in the game than you are in real life, if you're really going for well-being. So my son, being a very average child, went straight for the weapons, of course. I think I'm just going to get my character dressed. You've been looking at a naked guy long enough. Alright, let's see here. Pants. Alright. The inventory system is volume based. I will be adding weight later. So let's give an example. Here's some soda. Picked it up. And the backpack, volume based. Usually in most games, inventory systems are icon based, which is good for classic gaming, but we're going for realism in this particular area, so I've decided to make volume management or space management a big part of the challenge. So let's just pick up random things here. The game is going to put the items in whatever inventory happens to have free space. So let's see which ones we've used. Nothing in the shirt, nothing in the pants, got some stuff in the hat. You can control where things go, you can micromanage your inventory, but for quick playthroughs and just gathering things, the game does a lot of things automatically for you. There's actually a lot that I'm trying to give the player control over, and one of my main priorities here is a sandbox experience where you can actually set up cause and effect any way you wish to achieve different ends. Most games put you into a very rigid system of cause and effect, which is scripted, but we're trying to capitalize on both physics as well as the diverse settings that you can put into items and such to be able to do just basically anything you want. So let's go test out explosion dynamics. Yeah?
No, wait.
Okay.
It's all good.
Alright, so it's working?
Yeah.
It's always good, alright. So I'm getting a lot of frame hitching. I believe that's because of the inventory right now. Here's an example of some of the sandboxy implementation here. Let's see if I can hit something. Everything is physical and able to be interacted with in a physics-based manner. Whereas many things in most games will anchor, you have control over that in this game, where most objects will be floating around and basically subject to the physics system. That can make for a lot of imbalance in most situations, but one of my priorities in this game is to keep the physics system available to everything, so that basically you can exploit the environment in the greatest way possible. Alright, so let's try out the explosions. Oh, somebody set a trap for me. Alright, well, I think he did that earlier. But since I'm bleeding now, you can see that my blood gauge is going down, along with it the hit points. Now the hit points are not just the product of my blood trauma, but also hunger and other things as well. And you can see the well-being is affected as well. So I'll just let my character patiently die so I can get on to the next test.
I can quicken it for you.
Go ahead, make it quicker. He just shot the grenade, which blew me up, instead of shooting me directly. For some reason, the clothing is stretching to the 0 point. I have no idea why. Alright, so looting myself, get my stuff back. Typical routine of a survival game. Dealing with the troll who's camping out in my dead body. A little bit more. Back up! I'm going to throw a grenade to move the ragdoll. Alright, so more simulation here. Back up. You can see the ragdoll, the body was affected. It's not just static there. Usually when a body dies in any game environment, the ragdoll is just kind of stuck there in one position. I've kept it available even in a network-based simulation so that people can have fun just moving things around and doing whatever they want to do. Alright. Another aspect of, like I said, keeping the sandbox priority is that you can actually disturb traps using basic physics as well. Or grenades. If something creates an environmental effect, it will actually trigger a lot of things. So you can see that play right there. And the explosions are also, they observe obstacles. So here's an example. Some of the things will move, others will not, based on where they're positioned. The wall was blocking this, so it didn't move. Did you get hit?
No.
My son is setting up a bunch of traps in a tree. He's our troll and he's our exploiter, so he's setting up traps to cut down a tree. Let's see if it works. Yeah, some bark fell off the tree. He's cutting down the tree with the traps. So anyway, there's a demonstration of how unintentional effects can be achieved using this open sandbox system. Alright, let's see if this works. I see what he's trying to do. Go ahead. Anyway, while he's doing that, it looks like he's still got a few more hit points to go on that tree. But speaking of trees, you can also chop down a tree with a grenade. Yeah, he finally just shot the tree down with the remaining hit points. You can also cut down trees with grenades, because trees, just like everything in the game, have hit points. Cutting down trees with grenades can be useful at times in a survival situation where patience is lacking, which in the online world is almost all the time. But while we're on the subject of trees, let's cut one down in the traditional way. Are you out of ammo yet?
No.
Okay. I rate limited this axe far too much. So there's actually 2 steps in cutting down a tree. So we got the initial fallen tree. Now we're going to harvest the wood. Thank you for demonstrating the incompleteness of my game by whacking a tree with a chainsaw. I'm going to try to show the strengths of the game, and my son's going to point out all the faults. That's pretty good.
I can punch it like Minecraft if you want.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We don't want to rip off Minecraft too much. I got other games I'm trying to rip off. Alright, so on that note, we are also loading up the character with things he finds in the wilderness. The character actually has a number of mount points on him, like other games you might have seen. so that it's possible for him to become literally just a walking beast of burden. And this is one of the cool parts about the game, to meet a character in your survival ventures who is completely loaded down with stuff. You can actually see what he's carrying depending on what's mounted. Speaking of this stuff, this here is what we call a Unilink. It's a survival walkie-talkie that you can craft. It's going to open up special options in the game. He's offering me one. Go ahead, drop it. Alright. So now I got something in the hand, something mounted at my side, carrying some wood. So I'm a pretty happy camper right now. Nighttime is coming. There's going to be a lot of factors for the nighttime, but right now it's just a basic day cycle. It doesn't change much except lighting. You can throw anything you pick up. Let's quickly look at the monsters too. The monsters are basic AI that you're used to. They respond to proximity, line of sight, and sound. So some of these will die, some of them will chase. So they're going towards the sound, but I suspect one of them will... Okay, I'm not close enough to be seen. Now I got a few after me. Go ahead, take him down. You're the gamer. Save your dad, save your dad. Okay, alright, this ain't going the way we want. You're doing a pretty good job. Here, kill that. Oh man, I'm dead. I program him, but I don't play him well. I'm famous for that. Alright. So let's kill another one. I didn't throw it far enough. Alright. Get my stuff back. The usual way. Alright. Hit points are starting from 0 again, but since I'm not bleeding, they will gradually go up.
Here.
I'm going to be changing this as well. I mean, obviously I should spawn with a proper blood supply. What were you going to give me?
Chocolate bar.
A chocolate bar? That's actually good. That's a good point. We need to demonstrate that. I might restart this. I don't want to play in the dark. But the food system, every food item will actually replenish certain values in your character's needs. So here's an example. This is not a subject I'm good at all, but with a little bit of research I was able to implement some things. For instance, what food groups does sugar technically take care of? What food groups are affected by sugar? Never really thought to ask until it came up in the game. Then I had to figure it out. Took a best guess to implement it, but let's see here. What's a food that we know is properly set up in the system?
Well, I'm dying right now.
You're dying? Why are you dying?
I got hit.
Oh, okay. Ah, thank you, chocolate bar. Alright, so let's see what it affects. Right now, low on water, hunger's generally... Alright, this is not a great example, but let's just see what happens. Alright. So that satisfied everything. Oh, did you give me one of those little cheat bars? We have a cheat bar that actually replenishes all your food groups. You might have given me a cheat bar. Alright. Anyway, we'll get back to that when my hunger is more, when I have more food groups that are low. Alright, so I'm going to reset this quickly, get back to daytime, and we'll show off some other aspects of the game.
And the toy.
Alright.
Is he Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Is that the same person?
Okay, we're recording now. Yes, so I wanted to make it a point to talk about a guy named Lax Goli who helped me in the modding of a certain game we used to play. That was a big part of what got us here. But first of all, just to demonstrate some of the cause and effect that I'm shooting for in this. Alright, we're back in? Alright, so I'm going to set up a trail of grenades. Any object that has interactability should be able to influence multiple things in the environment. I have a spawner running here just so I can keep doing this. So the highest priority in this game is sandbox behavior. So things like this should be possible. I'm going to try to cause a chain reaction. And if I spaced them properly, let's see. Let's see if it works. There we go. Now that's just a grenade. There's a lot of objects I'm hoping to make, but these are just some of the basics. These floor-based traps could be anything, tripwires, different effects, different purposes. So let's see if I can get another chain reaction going just using traps. And the ultimate goal here is that a player can design a certain setup where perhaps he wants to trap a zombie horde or create a chain reaction for some other purpose. Like I said, sandbox behavior is the biggest priority in this. So I'll get these set up. Let's see how many of these I can trigger. A lot of it's just based on the way the physics decides to work. So let's see if I can get it working. So I'm going to throw a stick at them just to activate them. Alright. Oh, that was a great effect. So there you go. So where are we? Where are you? Are you? He's a troll. He's playing the game the way he plays other games. He's sitting. Did you get me? What are you shooting at?
Just shooting.
Oh, the zombie over here. Alright, hey, you got ammo? Can you damage me right now? I think the guns can do damage. I just want to see if I can... I have decent hit points, so it's a good time to... Just give me one shot. Shoot my character once. If you can. Maybe it won't work, I don't remember. I think we turned off the PvP for a minute. Okay, go ahead and shoot me. Reloading. You're lagging. That's odd. Okay, go ahead. Having a hard oh, I think you got me. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a gun wound. So, gunshot by the 911. Hit by gunshot. So these are the effects operating on the character, and he died pretty quickly. Alright. So, yeah, some of the damage is working. Let's see here. What else is there? As far as I know, if a worm bee hits you, or a worm zombie, you will actually get corruption damage, which has different types of effects. You have to forgive the animation. Some of them don't activate properly. Is he getting away? The zombies can't jump windows yet, so he's playing the game just the way he knows it. Right in the head. These have hit colliders on the different body parts. Headshots for the most damage. Alright, hopefully that's it for me dying randomly. This is your typical house here. The dimensions are pretty consistent. I think the doors are too thin, but Alright, we're going to demonstrate some of the crafting system. My son's actually more familiar with it at this point. I've forgotten its features because it's been a while. But we are trying to make it as broad as possible so that there's a lot of possibilities. Alright. So, of course, he's making it all dramatic, throwing the stuff over here. Alright, so we're getting it out of view so that he has a localized crafting area. When you have something available in your area, it'll show you what's available. I actually named this wrong. It says disassemble, it should actually be assemble. This plus this equals a spear, a rock plus a stick. Alright, and it worked. I'm glad it worked for you. Alright, beautiful. Doesn't do any damage yet that I'm familiar with, but it's a spear that works. We still have to put in animations and combat and things like that.
You can also disassemble stuff.
Alright, so I think you can disassemble this TV, right?
Yeah.
Let me do that one. We know it works? Alright, let's try it.
I don't know if it works for you.
Let's try it out. Alright, disassemble the TV. If you disassemble the TV, you get 4 glass, 2 springs, and so on and so forth. So pin the recipe. This is the stuff we'll get. Let's see if it worked. Go into my inventory. Yeah, yeah, it all went into my inventory. Yeah, there's a circuit board. It organized itself. All right. What other things did it migrate into? My shirt too. Huh? Looks like we have a bug here. Something way off to the side. We'll fix that. Here's an ATM. Did you find a book?
Huh?
Bring a book. Oh, never mind.
No, there's one.
All right. So, one of our big ideas is that books in this game only have one purpose, and that is for burning. I'm gonna try to have a little bit of humor in here. We think it's funny. You can only burn books. We didn't cover the 3D printer yet, right?
No.
Yeah, okay. So Asa modeled pretty much everything in this game, allowing me to focus on development. Most of the stuff he had created, and this is one of them. This is a 3D printer based on the Prusa. If you acquire this in the game, it opens up a lot more high-level crafting possibilities. Everything's respawning. So anyway, 3D printing will be a part of this game, and if you find a 3D printer, you're basically going to see a higher quality of life. Let's see what else. We're going to show you. We didn't show the bloat bug, right?
I don't think so.
Let's show the bloat bug. Another creation of Asa's. Where are you? Ah, here you are. So this is a bloat bug, one of the monsters we're going to make. Worm is a game based around insects, particularly larval in nature. And the bloat bug shoots maggots. He's our first idea. We're going to have a few, but monsters tend to be more complicated, so probably be 2 or 3 major monsters besides the worm bee. Worm bees, zombie worm zombie, they are actually infected people that have been infected by a certain worm. These are basic models. I have to have some of the animations fixed. You get it. Yeah, I hate gunplay. I have to work on the aiming. So, anyway, the worm bees are going to have worms sticking out of them. They're not just going to be average zombies. They're going to have all sorts of strange ligaments and little, ragdolly things sticking off of them that wave around as they walk and run. And they're going to be worm bees. We have a lot of work to do in the combat system. The combat system is my least favorite. It's very complex. Players are very picky with it, and sadly, it's going to be the one that causes me the most grief. But he's having plenty of fun right now. I believe, you can't actually. How'd you die?
One of them hit me earlier.
Oh, he bled out. I'm gonna loot you like a troll. I'm not gonna loot you. Your stuff's here. Let's see if I can hit one. Anyway, this is our. This actually reminds me. I probably shouldn't have over innovated on this, but I'll show. Here, you can have your gun back. I'll get an unloaded gun.
You want to also show them this?
Oh, actually, yeah, that is kind of important. Can you get a couple of logs while I get the gun?
Yeah.
I emphasized earlier that the sandbox aspect of the game is one of the major priorities. Stacking and distributing things is actually going to be, well, let's just say this, it's going to be a sandbox. Alright, so he's getting some logs. I'm out of stamina, so crawl in here. He's chopping down a tree creatively. Alright, so we'll show the aiming afterwards. So yes, this is going to be a feature for pretty much everything. You should be able to basically stack things dynamically according to your creativity, and you'll have a choice as to whether or not you anchor them. So right now he's just stacking up woods. And this is just, like I said, to emphasize the physics of it. Huh, that's floating. Wonder why. Alright. Now the aiming...
You can also use them to fill the places.
Oh yeah, you can also use them to climb, right? Go ahead, try that out. Yeah, there you go. So, again, sandbox, sandbox, sandbox. I wanted to show off... So, aiming is a weird subject for me. I'm not really good at shooters in general, but when I got to the aiming dynamics, I decided to try to keep it as real as possible. If there was a laser light on this gun, you would see very clearly how this aiming system works. It's very realistic. The aiming is coming from the gun itself, and the player is compensating as he gets close to a object. There's a lot of refinements I have to make on this, but the more realistic and true to life I can make the aiming, I believe it'll also cut down on player exploits. For example, I noticed as I was testing other games, if you walk up to a wall like this and shoot your gun, you'll actually get a bullet fired from the camera and not the gun. So technically where you're aiming isn't where the bullet ends up. If you're playing casually, you'll never notice this, but as you study it, a lot of games actually shoot from the camera. I decided not to do it that way. It's kind of a pain to design it, but I think it will be rewarding in the end, or it will end up being a giant mistake. It's one of those imitation or innovation scenarios. There's always risk.
Which is why you can shoot your foot.
Which is why you can shoot your foot. Go ahead. That's pretty much what that's what making an indie game is all about: shooting yourself in the foot.
You have to do it without it.
Well, wait.
Just do it without it.
Oh, that's right. I don't have ammo. That's right. It's because it shoots from the gun, you can actually shoot downward if you're not aiming. Like me. In fact, in a high-stress situation, I think I'd end up just throwing the gun. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't do damage right now. Great, now I'm going to die. Come on, I can get away, I can get away, I can get away. I mean, the fact that it's challenging at all shows that it's going in a positive direction. Alright. See what my status says. What effects? Bleeding damage. Bleeding damage. The reason why it's showing twice is because I was hit twice, and the effect is actually stacking. So this will probably kill me, because as far as I know, the effects will not wear off before the blood supply is empty. Alright, respawn. What else we got to show? Show you plotting your next victim as you hide behind a window. You can tell who plays the games around here.
We didn't show the tree exploit yet, did we?
What was the tree exploit? Oh, yes. Alright. Oh, by the way, he hit the tree and leaves are falling off. One of those little, cute little things that I wanted to implement. It's the little things that matter. You punch a tree, leaves fall. Alright. So, Ace is our professional troll. He's the sort of person that will ask you to check your inventory, and then when your UI screen is up, he will shoot you. This kid is creative for evil. Alright, so he's trying to climb a tree so that he can hide inside of the geometry and get the next newly spawned guy walking naked across the beach. So now he's completely hidden, and now he's shooting me. What's wrong with your aim?
No, it's hitting.
It is? It's not hitting me. Maybe the gun itself is buggy. Oh well. Huh, it is hitting me. You know what? Oh, it's the gun itself that isn't doing human damage. That makes sense.
It was earlier.
Not that gun. Did that gun do it? Oh well, I hate to admit it, but it might be a bug. Alright, we are recording again. In the post-apocalyptic world, there are going to be lots of vending machines that have not been used for a long time. Question is, where do you get the money for the vending machine? The answer is you have to go through people's sofas, because you will always find loose change in a sofa. So the colliders are a little off, but you get the idea. Is he taking the money before I do? So this is a cheese vending machine. A little inside joke we had. This machine, how many flavors of cheese are in this thing?
I don't know.
I think there's like 10 different types of cheese that we had to research on Wikipedia. You can get some pretty exotic cheeses out of this thing.
I think this one's Gruyere.
Actually, oh yeah, if I can get a backpack. You keep playing with the machine and get as much cheese out of there as you can. I'm going to get a backpack so I can study the cheeses. So cheese vending machines are going to be an important part of your diet. Except for me, I'm lactose intolerant, which makes it even funnier because I really don't benefit from this. Oh, here's the cheese right here. All right. Oh, we are missing a very big part of this thing. The inventory system. Yeah, we haven't even touched that yet. We'll get back to that. No, they using crates and boxes. We didn't touch that one yet.
Oh.
It's kind of a big deal. Also, using your backpack when it's on the ground. We didn't touch that one either. All right, how many cheeses we got?
Sometimes it doesn't spawn.
Not enough stamina. You'll be able to actually alter your stamina through buffing your character. So you have metabolism standard, stamina recharge standard. These things will get upgraded depending on what you're doing. If you drink an energy drink, things like that. Alright, so let's see what kind of cheeses we got here.
Keeps dropping the same.
It's a bit of a gamble. So the vending machines, I mean, okay, so we got Brie cheese, Monterey Jack. What else we got? Oh, there's something. Let's see, what is this? Brie cheese, cheddar cheese. This is going to be very valuable.
Here's a new one.
Doesn't cheese stimulate endorphins or something that make you extra happy in real life? What is that? Here, drop it. I think there's something magical about cheese, which is why we all love pizza so much. Oh, what is this? I can't even pronounce it. Gruyere? Gruyere?
Gruyere.
Wow, we really did our homework. Thank you.
Thanks.
I think I just copy-pasted all the stuff he gave me and made the... Okay, what do we got here? You guys are probably like, why is he dwelling on the cheese? Alright, so here's our inventory system. So, let's see if this is working. You cannot necessarily grab directly from this inventory. Because of the way this inventory works, you have to use the menu. Because the inventory self-organizes. Why did that happen? Are you putting stuff in here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you put mayonnaise in here when we weren't looking. Yeah, I thought we had a bug. Anyway, this is how this stuff works here. Please tell me... Okay, yeah, it's working. Alright. Alright. So there's my stash of post-apocalyptic food. How is my food, by the way?
I just tried to put myself inside.
There's no way. What do you mean? What are you doing? And how are you getting the... Oh, you're placing these? Are you placing these?
No, I'm holding E and then he jumps on top of it.
This guy is good at finding bugs. Okay, first of all, how did you duplicate this thing? Do we have a placeable crate? Because I don't remember.
No, we don't.
Okay, he found a bug. Good job. Boy, if that's the bugs he's finding, what's it going to do if I release this thing? More than likely, we're going to release this free to play. And the reason we're going to do that is so people can't complain because it's free. That's the entire reason we're going to make it free to play. This is another thing. Let's get a few items, a few more clothing items on. Alright. So, the inventory is not based on the character, it's based on the object. So, example, if I drop my bag... Okay, don't take my bag, okay? Alright, if I drop my bag, if I hold E, it'll equip my bag. If I do Shift E, I can check the contents of the bag while it's lying on the ground. Oh, that reminds me, we gotta check some other things with the... So anyway, there are many ways to access inventory and interact with items. I always stress the sandbox. And although some of you might understand this, it was a developmental mistake. This game uses a database as opposed to flat file saving. In the end, even though it's not efficient, I think a database is better because it allows players to mod the system a little bit more in the end. Look at him. Exploiting the heck out of the game. Alright, so let's see here. What was I going to do? Oh yeah. Where's the grenade spawning over here? We have I wanted to show the organized blast radius. Oh! He's shooting stuff. That is one powerful bow. Hey, where's the grenade? Did you see it?
It's over here.
I can't pick out objects from large arrays. It's one of my weaknesses. Oh, nice. Okay. Don't shoot me, please. Alright, so if you watch carefully, depending on how accurate the video is, you'll see the blast delay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I always emphasize sandbox. Alright, as a quick side tangent, just going to show what we have developed of the town. This is a news station. All of these buildings are actually going to be functional. They're going to be base points where you can actually build them up. They're going to be like giant items with very fixed abilities. Usually buildings are just kind of these static fortifications. In this case, we're going to have mount points for player-made turrets and stuff. The sandbox aspect of it will be retained, but each building will have a very specific strength. For instance, this one here, you can fortify it. You'll be able to build up this area here with a pre-designed gate that you can make out of logs and such. Then have a rooftop farming operation. So in a multiplayer environment, you might want to go after this building and fortify it. I don't know, this is a little bit of nostalgia on my part. This is based on the Kona Public Library. If you ever need to get a lot of fuel for burning things, there'll be lots of books in here. Books can be used for burning. That's a rule in this game. Books are most useful for burning. This here is an apartment complex. In my opinion, it's way too big, and I got way too ambitious with this because I don't think there's going to be a player cap in this, but who's going to use all this? Am I seeing an error here? Looks like an error. Yeah, I probably messed up the texture map there. In any case, the town is going to be sizable. There's going to be different buildings with different features. You can see some of the beginnings of our broken roads. I know there's a crater road around here somewhere. Do you remember where it is, Asa?
It's in the middle of the city, I believe.
Is it in the middle of the city?
Or you could just go into the sky and look for it.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe
There it is.
Where is it? Ah, there it is. This is going to be a smoking crater where all the bugs emerged from hell beneath, or whatever underworld exists. We don't have a big story built up. We're just working on the dynamics.
There's also trash bags in the alleyways.
All this stuff Asa built. I made a lot of the roads and such. Trash bags.
In the alleyways.
You'll be able to loot the trash bags, of course. Where we live, there's a lot of guys who do that. I think that's where we got the idea. What is this? Hardware Town? We're going to rip off some Fallout stuff. I think this is a hardware store. Let's see, what else we got? We're just kind of being spastic now. Actually, we've been kind of spastic the whole time, haven't we? Dumpsters. These would be very important in scavenging.
Or hiding.
Or hiding. Yeah, he presumed to say that. I don't want to have to build that in. We've been playing Days Gone. Alright, so anyway, I think that's everything. Let's get a bird's eye view. This here is our town that we're going to build. We have some, actually, a lot of this stuff hasn't been filled in yet, but we have literally, we're just being humorous. We have churches right on top of graveyards. We have a university that has an underground tunnel that goes straight to the factory, as if the kids are being manufactured for the university, or for the factory. We just have a lot of fun. We poke fun at everything in this. What are some other things we're poking? Okay. This is probably offensive, but we're going to have a help wanted sign outside of family planning. How is it? How are we going to do it? Oh yeah, an abortion center with a an abortion center that has a help wanted sign and something like family planning that's going out of business. I don't remember.
You should just probably cut this part out of the video.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll edit this out, or I might forget to edit it. Anyway, we don't have any problem with being morbid here. Anyway, that's it for this side tangent. Hope you enjoyed it. It is rolling. It's alright. There's no organization here. So anyway, my son has discovered that you can actually multi-box Unity. I didn't realize that. Now he's also discovered you can jump on the head of another character. That was not intentional, but it's possible. So wonderful. Anyway, he's got 3 instances running. The network game works perfectly normal with multiple players. Anyway, a little bit about the inspiration of this thing. We're pulling from a lot of survival games, such as Scum and Unturned and Fallout primarily. Those are our big ones that we like. A little shout out to Lax Goalie. I'm putting up this video because, well, backstory. When we played and modded Unturned, Lax Goalie was the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the modding community, or the Yoda. He just kind of knew everything. He was the humble wise man everybody can go to, and he always knew how to do these different creative tricks, and ultimately he was able to help me get over some of the barriers of entry of modding. There are actually a few modders that helped me, but he was the one I got in touch with recently. It was kind of nice. So Lax Goalie, thank you. And Lax Goalie is also developing a game very similar. We all play these games, we all get inspired and use them as springboards for our own ideas, and Lax Goalie's style of developing his mods as well as his games is that he's a bit of a perfectionist and he understands the systems very well. And so you see my style here, kind of over-inspired and spastic. He's developing a very nice, clean game very similar to this, and just by sheer coincidence got in touch with him, found that he was on a very similar creative path, and so he's developing a game just like this. And I wanted to say thank you, Lax Goalie, for saying hi, and we look forward to seeing your game too. Anyways, that's how it works in the game world. You meet people online, like this guy here. Well, I mean, we obviously should be wearing clothes right now, but you develop a friendship, and it's just as real as any other thing, because they're real human beings behind a computer, and they influence your lives. And as it was said in video games and movies, people exist today because their parents met in a video game, and lots of people's lives were changed because people would. Anyway, yeah, so this is a side tangent. Say again?
Food?
Well, I don't know. I mean, let's find a food that just takes care of one attribute. Let's do water first.
Alright.
I haven't been demonstrating this because the effects haven't gone low enough. The water's pretty low.
Calibrated these.
What is that?
I got it.
The LODs get messed up when you pick it up too. Okay, that's not.
Yeah.
Juice boxes work. Where's the juice boxes?
Juice box. They're over here.
Donuts don't work yet. We have very few things we've used for testing. All right, these have straws. They've already been drank, but I'm sure there's something left in it.
There.
Survival games are all about leftovers. All right, I'm gonna.
Status.
Where's the consume button? Anyway, I'm just gonna consume it this way.
Circle.
All right. So fruits have been replenished and water has been replenished. See that? What about a vegetable? I think hot dog will do protein.
Yeah, hot dogs are vegetables.
Yeah, no, protein. Okay, so here's my status. Proteins are low. Let's see what the hot dog does. Okay, this is the eat button. All right, proteins are replenished. Let's do dairy.
Dairy.
Got some cheese? I know we got cheese. We got lots of cheese. All right. All right, here's some cheese. I don't understand this. Who invented the food system? I can't even do dairy and I'm perfectly healthy. But anyway, I took it because it exists. All right. Oh, it didn't replenish dairy. Well, that's because my character is lactose intolerant, but it would have worked for anybody else.
Actually, I don't think.
If I'm that good at justifying my bugs. All right.
I don't think we calibrate.
We didn't calibrate those yet. All right. That's absolutely true. With that being said, who cares about dairy? All right. Eggs not working yet. Anyway, you get the idea.
Basically, all the new stuff I made recently doesn't work.
That's fine.
bad.
We have
Too
some
bad.
proofs anyway.
Too bad, 'cause
Grains.
that's-
Grains. We have a grains around here, I'm sure. We have a piece of bread or something.
Uh,
What was our early food that we made? We tested each food group.
cheeseburger?
There's some beans, they work. Is the cheeseburger? That's one of our first ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you can find it.
Pizza. That
The
was
pizza?
one.
Oh yeah, alright. That'll definitely replenish bread. Where is it?
But it still has cheese.
That's fine. Yeah, alright. Let's just see how this works. Alright. Status. Dairy, grains. I'm sure
of
this should take
course-
care of both of them.
Of course, you can hold the bread sideways without it getting messed up.
Okay, so this replenished a lot. I think pizza is a power food in this one. Alright, so
Look how
Asa
far,
suggested going over some of the other things here. What were you going to say there?
look how far you can float.
Perfectly on topic. Disappeared. Oh, that's the LODs at work. Alright. I gotta fix that too. Alright. So, well-being, this is still to be developed. It is generally affected by how many bars you have completed. And a full well-being actually gives bonuses, which gives you incentive to filling all these other bars up. Keeping the corruption low, trauma low, and everything else maxed out will give you a good well-being. Now, we have not fully implemented the well-being. I touched on this before, but there's going to be lots of status effects. I've made a system where I could just arbitrarily make status effects, assign an icon and a description and some values, and you can do just about anything. It's almost like Fallout's Fallout system, which is pretty sophisticated. If you're a super game fan like me, check out the video Fallout is Better Than You Think. Fallout 4 is better than you think, and it talks about the science and the creativity behind it, because, again, if you're a super fan, you'll find it very inspiring. Somebody's aiming a gun at me. Side note, one of Ace's first major great projects, contributions to this game are these guns here. He did something that I never do in Blender. He used the cut tool, and he used it well. I never used the cut tool because I lack control in it. But look at what he did. It's a nice little stylized, I mean, honestly, it's perfect as far as the style goes. So good job, Asa. What about, alright, I think we've really covered everything.
But this bacon looks like one.
This bacon looks like worms. That's alright. We're allowed to have some faults. Oh, the soda. Let's see if it replenishes something. I need to make another bar just for sugar. I can't go off on a tangent.
What does it
But
look like?
if it were for me alone, it would have a sugar bar. What's that?
What's it look like if I do this?
What are you doing? How are you doing that?
It's another bug.
Don't show the bugs in a public video. Alright. It's bad. Alright, well that's everything. Like I said, nothing extremely professional, but proof of what's been done. And in closing, if you can put stuff in the comments, we'd love to hear your feedback. Obviously this stuff is a ton of work, so I can't implement anything, but I invite your creativity, because really that's what this is all about. If you have any good ideas for the system that you see working here, I'd love to hear it. Anyway, thanks guys. Again, thank you Lax Scully for motivating me to get the video out. You have a good day, everybody. See you later.